Today we're going to walk through the steps necessary to get us online using App Engine with a live application. And we're going to go through all of the steps, including registering for a Gmail account and setting up the SDK. So you can do this from complete scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and start by opening Chrome. I'm going to go to cloud.google.com/appengine/downloads. And this is going to take me to the page where I can download the software development kit for App Engine. You can see here we're going to go with Python today, so I'll click that. You've got a Windows version and a Linux version, but I'm on Mac OS, so I'm going to go ahead and open that one. So I click this to download, and this should take a few seconds to download, and here we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to open it. And it's going to open up our package. I'm just validating. There we go. Check that out. Finishing it up, and here we can just move Google App Engine Launcher right into our applications. And this is going to install the App Engine SDK, which is going to give us some tools for posting App Engine, for running our application locally, for testing, some logs. It's a pretty good application. So now that that's open, we'll go ahead and open applications. We will open up Google App Engine Launcher, and it's going to say, all right, this is downloaded from the internet. We are totally okay. We're going to click open. And here we go. It's extracting the new Google App Engine runtime, and that's going to go ahead in the background. But we're going to need a Gmail account to actually post this. So we're going to go ahead to gmail.com, and we will create an account. And I'm going to go ahead and put my name in, and we will use 0 to AE. That's good. That's actually available. Good, good. So we'll create a password here. We'll make a nice long one. We'll type in lots of characters, make that, there we go. And I'm going to put in my actual birthday. You can go ahead and send me a birthday card this September if you feel like it. And we can leave the phone off. We'll go ahead and say that, we can verify this. The text there is 805. There we go. We agree to the terms and service. And we'll go ahead and hit next step. And there we go. We've got a App Engine account now, 0 to AE@gmail.com. So if we go to our Gmail, we should have a couple of nice intro messages. But while we are checking that out, we're going to go ahead and open up the Cloud Developer console here. So I'm going to go to console.developers.google.com. And we are going to actually create a project here. So I'm going to select a project and create a project. I'm going to go ahead and try to get 0 to AE here, see if that'll actually come up. Can we actually get the ID 0 to AE? Project ID is not available. We'll go ahead and say 0 to AE1. Can we get that? Very good. So what we're doing is we're trying to identify what our application ID is going to be, because eventually we're going to want to go to 0 to AE1.appspot.com and find something there, and there's nothing there because we haven't posted anything. I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, I've got 0 to AE1. We're going to create that, and that is now creating our project. So that's all very good. Now, we've got our Gmail, we've got a app all set up. We're going to remember our project ID, and I'm going to go ahead to my desktop. This is still running, so you can see that the SDK, it's going to create some command line utilities. That's good. We'll go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and type in my admin password, and there we go. So I've got an older app here. We're going to remove that. So now we're good. We've got an empty Google App Engine Launcher, and we've got our Google App Engine Launcher and applications. We can go ahead and eject our DMG. We can go ahead and delete this because we've got that now, so we can move that to the trash. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder, and we'll call this 0 to AE1. You can actually call this folder anything you like, but just to keep things consistent with our ID, we'll go ahead and call it 0 to AE1. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to create a new file and save that in there. So I'm going to open up my text wrangler, and we're going to save a file called app.yaml. YAML stands for yet another markup language, but it's just a simple configuration language we'll use to configure our application. So we're going to go ahead, and first thing we're going to do is say our application's name is 0 to AE1, and we're going to say the version. This is going to be our first version. We're just putting in some properties here that are going to allow App Engine to identify how to run our application. Our runtime is going to be Python 2.7. We're going to need Python for this. Our API version is 1, and thread safe is, yes, we'll go ahead and make it thread safe. Now we're going to actually specify some handlers here. Our handlers are going to identify how we're going to process URL requests. So the URL, we're going to use a regular expression to specify this. Anything that is requested from the root of our app onward, we're going to pass on to script.app or main.app. So we'll say script main.app. And this is going to be where we actually store our application, or where our application is running from. So we have an app.yaml file. We can save that. We're also going to need another file. I'm going to create a new text file, and we are going to save this as main.py. Now I'm going to put this in 0 to AE as well. And we're going to go ahead from here. We're going to create a class. So we're going to import web app 2 because that's going to contain the framework necessary for us to run all of our HTML processing, get our parameters, output date or information to the browser. So all of that's going to be in web app 2. It's just a framework that's built in as the default for App Engine. And to use that, we're going to create a class. We're going to call this main page handler. And this is going to be a webapp2.request handler. So this is all Python code, and we're creating a class in Python. This is extending the webapp2 request handler class, and we're going to use this to just get notifications and call functions or call class methods when we are getting requests to our application. So we can define two methods. We could define a get and a post. If we define a get, what we get here is this allows us to respond to an HTTP GET request. We could also do a def post here, and we could that will actually not give us anything back. So we could do something like self.response.out.write. This is a post, but typically we're going to get requests. So we'll write self.response.out.write. We'll just go ahead and tell the user hi. So now we have a basic page handler that when an HTTP GET request is made to our application, we're going to use the built-in response object and its output to write some content back to the browser. And App Engine is going to handle all of the rest. It's going to handle the initialization of our app. It's going to handle transmitting the request to our actual application code here. It's going to do a lot of stuff in the background, so we can concentrate on just writing the code. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and create a mappings list. And this mappings list is going to identify what URLs are going to be handled by what handlers. So you can see here we've got a main page handler, and we're going to map that to the root of our application. So any requests that are made to 0 to ae1.appspot.com are going to go here. Then we're going to actually create the application. So we're going to create a webapp2.wsgi application here, and we're going to pass in those mappings. So let's go ahead and save that, and if we've done everything correctly, we should be able to load this in App Engine now. So I'm going to go to my App Engine launcher, and I'm going to add an existing application because we've just defined it, and I'm going to browse and find on my desktop 0 to AE1. Go ahead and choose that, and we'll add that. So if I haven't made any typos, I should be able to run this application, and we can open up our logs window to see if everything's going okay. Looks like everything's okay, so I can open up a browser now just to see this running locally. We'll go to localhost 8080, and you can see I get hi. So that means everything is going well. I've got some logic that's building this output. We're able to send something to the browser and display here. So now that all looks good, we're going to click deploy. And deploy is actually going to read in our app.yaml to find out where this should go. And you can see here it's popping up in a browser, and it's going to give me some authentication. Now, since I've already logged in and I'm already logged into some of these Google applications, it's just saying I'm authenticated. So now I should be able to go back to my log, and it looks like authentication successful. Looks like our deployment should be okay. So if we go back to a browser, we should be able to go to 0 to AE1.appspot.com, and we should see our application load up there. There we go. So we see hi. So that's very good. So you can see here it's very, very simple to upload an application to Google's App Engine servers, and this will handle making this live right away. So not much code required, not much configuration. The whole process doesn't take very long. Thanks for watching this video, and if you're interested in learning more about coding Python or writing HTML or JavaScript or CSS, take a look at some of the other tutorials at coding4.us.